I've been reading a story I hadn't read in a long time about Moses and his birth.
Oh, wait a minute. Moses parts the Red Sea.
He does, but that's not the story I'm reading.
Okay. Moses gets the Ten Commandments.
Moses does, but that's not the story I'm reading.
Moses wanders in the desert for 40 days and 40 years. 40 years?
That's right, he does, but that's not the story I'm reading either.
Golly, there must be a lot of stories about Moses. Which one are you reading about?
There's a lot of stories about Moses in the book of Exodus. I am reading about the circumstances around Moses' birth.
Moses' birth.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems that in Egypt, where the Israelites were living, that they were having lots and lots of children.
Wow.
And the Pharaoh of Egypt was getting a little scared that there were so many Israelites being born. He was afraid that they would take over and put him out of power. And so
He must have had some control issues.
he had a lot of control issues. So the first thing he did was he called two midwives named Shiphrah and Puah.
Shiphrah and Puah.
Yeah, wouldn't you love to have a name like that?
Sure. Wow, okay. So what did they do?
Well, he told them that whenever they went to deliver a baby, that if it was a boy, that they should kill the baby.
No!
Yes.
Oh, he was mean.
He was very mean. But Shiphrah and Puah didn't do that.
Oh, good.
And when the Pharaoh asked why there were still so many Hebrew baby boys being born, they said, those Israelite women are so strong that before we can even get to the house, they've already had their babies born.
Wow.
And
Without any help.
Without any help.
No coaching. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said, well, we're going to try something else.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. He said, every boy that is born to the Hebrews, you will throw into the Nile River.
But they can't swim that little.
They can't swim that little.
I do not like this man.
This man is not good.
Not a nice guy.
Not a nice guy at all. So there was a woman, we don't know her name, but she had a boy, and she loved him very much.
I bet so.
And she hid him for 3 months.
Hid him in her house?
Hid him in her house for 3 months. But when she could
That's
hide
gotta
him...
be hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you hide a baby?
No, they cry.
They do cry.
Wow.
Yeah. So she decided she was going to have to do something to try to save the baby, and in case some Egyptians came to the house and they wouldn't find him.
Yeah, I guess so.
So what she did was she made a basket out of reeds.
Oh, wow.
And
That's like straw kind of stuff. Isn't it?
Yeah, like straw.
Okay.
A straw basket.
Ooh, I bet that was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, guess what she did with it?
She took it to go shopping, maybe?
No.
She put her precious treasures in it?
No, well, she did put her big precious treasure in it. She put her baby in it.
In the basket?
In the basket. And not only that, but she put the baby in the basket and then put the basket in the edge of the water of the river to hide him.
Oh my goodness!
So that all the reeds around the river would hide the baby and no one would find him. And the baby's sister kept watch over.
She must have been older.
Yeah, she was an older sister.
Okay.
Yeah, she was an older sister, but I think I'm pretty much older.
Okay.
And at least a teenager.
Oh, good. Okay.
So
Does she have a name? Do we know?
her name was Miriam.
Oh, I like that name. Okay.
Yeah, her name was
Okay.
Miriam. And she watched the baby every day to make sure that he was safe and got fed and all of that.
That is a strange daycare system, putting him in the river.
Yeah, it is. You wouldn't get 5 stars today.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you wouldn't get 5 stars
Yeah.
on your daycare for that.
Okay.
But anyway,
So what happened?
well, one day, the daughter of the wicked Pharaoh,
Was she mean too?
well, we don't know much about her. All we know is that she came to the river one day to take a bath, her and her attendants.
Okay.
And when she got there, she discovered the baby in the basket at the edge of the river.
What'd she do?
She took the baby out of the water and she was looking at him, and he was a cute little guy, and she was wondering what to do with him. Well, Miriam got an idea. Miriam ran up to the Pharaoh's daughter and said, I bet you would like to have a nurse that could keep care of this baby until he gets older.
Wow, that was quick thinking.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Guess
smart.
what nurse she got?
Was it his mama? His mama?
She went back and got his mama
Oh,
and
wow.
brought. She didn't tell Miriam that it was his mama.
Miriam didn't tell the princess?
Miriam didn't tell the princess it
Oh,
was
so
his
she
mama.
didn't have any idea, huh?
No, she just thought it was a woman,
A helper,
Yeah,
babysitter.
babysitter,
Okay.
Hebrew babysitter, come. And so she went and she took the baby back to the palace, and the child grew.
Well, wait a minute. So, the baby's mama gets to raise him up to a certain age, right?
Right.
And then he has to go to the palace.
Then he goes and lives in the palace. And the mama brings him back to the Pharaoh's daughter.
Wow.
And the Pharaoh names him Moses.
Oh, that's where his name comes from. The
Yeah.
Pharaoh?
The
Wow.
Pharaoh's daughter names
Pharaoh's
him,
daughter,
or
okay.
names him Moses.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Huh.
And it's kind of an interesting little word play there. Moses in Hebrew is Moshe, and Moses was drawn out of the water. The word for drawn out is Mashah.
Oh, that sounds almost the same.
Yeah. So Moses was Mashah. He
Okay.
was drawn out of the water
Oh, that's pretty cool.
and lived in the palace.
Okay, and what'd you say the name of the story is?
Well, we've called it Moses and the Bulrushes.
But Moses doesn't do anything in this story. He just sits in a basket. It should be the story about the women in Moses' life. Because he doesn't say anything. He might cry a little bit. But the people who are doing all the important work are women.
They are.
His mom has the baby. She becomes the babysitter. Miriam, the sister. I mean, what a great story for teenage girls, because they have a very important role in God's kingdom.
And don't forget about Sifra and Puah.
Oh my goodness, yeah. The
Beginning,
midwives.
The midwives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this should be the story of the women who took care of Moses. That's what I think.
Now, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Later on in the book of Exodus, we get part of a song from Miriam.
That's right.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Okay.
So
It'd be kind of cool to have a song to go along with this, wouldn't it?
it would be cool to have a song to go along with this. So drop the beat. A long time ago there lived a wicked king who tried to do a very wicked thing. The king didn't like the Israelites, so he made a rule that was very impolite. Throw the baby boys into the Nile, said the evil king with a wicked smile.
Said the evil king with a wicked smile.
A certain mother had a baby boy. He was cute and sweet, and he brought her much joy. I can't throw my baby into the Nile, so I'll try my best to hide him for a while.
Try my best to hide him for a while.
But the baby made noise like all little boys, so she took a little pitch when she took some reeds. She made a basket boat that would suit her needs. So she went to the Nile, let the basket float, while her daughter Miriam watched the little boat.
Daughter Miriam watched the little boat.
The princess of Egypt came down the path. She was coming to the river to give herself a bath. The princess saw the basket as curious as could be, so she said to her servants, "Bring it here to me."
Bring it here to me.
They opened the basket and the boy began to cry. When he said, why? Then she began to sigh. Israelite boy, and he looked so sweet, but I'm sure he's hungry and would like to eat.
I'm sure he was hungry and would like to eat.
Then out came his sister, who was hiding nearby. She said she'd find a nurse so the baby wouldn't cry. The princess agreed, so she ran to find her mother. How Miriam was glad to help her baby brother.
Miriam was glad to help her baby brother.
He soon went to live with the king's own daughter, and she called him Moses, for she took him from the water.
She called him Moses because she took him from the water.
She called him Moses, because she took him from the water.
She called him Moses because she took him from the water.
Stop the beat.